Seen the bridge, and the bridge is long, and they build it high, and they build it strong, strong enough to hold the weight of time, long enough to leave some of us behind, and every one of us has to face that day. Do you cross the bridge, or do you fade away? And every one of us that ever came to play has to cross the bridge.
All right then, try this again. First time it went funky. Hello, and welcome back to the Three Stitches podcast. I'm kind of crooked, aren't I? Alright, we'll try that. My name is Lindsay. Lindy on Plurk, Knitting Doink on Ravelry. This is episode 40. The big week, hit the big 4-0. Actually, remember, I've got it pulled up right here. But, actually, I have to remember to make sure it's episode 40 throughout. I have this bad habit of, since I don't do, I'll say, like, set, show notes, I don't have, like, a piece of paper with everything all nicely written out like Catherine does. I just have, scribbles on a sheet of paper as things come to me, and I'm just like, oh, gotta remember that right down. I don't go, episode 40, show notes, and I don't do that. I mean, it's just like I'm sitting here, and it's like, okay, what do I name it? What do I name it? What do I name it? Bugger, what do I name it? And then, like, something just, like, flies out. Oh, and that, you hear, is my roommate. Should have warned you guys about that. So, sorry, I'm recording at the moment, so if you want to say hi to the viewers on the net, you can. Just lost my train of thought now. So, yes, I shall get to, I'll say, week's happenings as I, go through my knitting. As a bit of a, say, like, disclaimer, whatever you want to call it, it's rather loud in the general vicinity, more than usual. The people have left the hall, which is good, and there was a person down the hall singing the Phantom of the Opera, which was rather odd, but at least they weren't playing Frisbee in the hall. But Sweetmates got the television on, so there is going to be background noise today, again, sorry. I would have waited till it quieted down, but it probably wouldn't have worked. So, here is, let me grab the pattern. I put it out here because I was doing homework to keep it out of the way. Now it's, okay. This is, Créalon. It is by Marthe Le Caplin, I believe. I'm probably butchering the name, but yeah. So I finished the sleeves over the weekend, and I tried it on, and it fits like a glove, so that's good. Because I know if I didn't try it on, I would have gotten like all the way down to the bottom, or at least halfway, and hated it and had to pull it all out. So I did try it on, and I am in the middle of a row like usual, but since it's in the circular, I'm always going to be in the middle of the row. So got about like that much done on the body. I know, not really stellar, but there is a good reason why, and I will get to that in just a second, or more like a few minutes, because I'm never really quick about getting these projects out of the way. So here is the progress. It's coming along nicely. It got put down for a while because, again, I'll get back to that, but not because I don't love it, just because I have more important and pressing projects to do. So that is that. It is, again, being done in, I love this yarn, totally acrylic, because I'm cheap, done in like dark denim, again, a very inspired colorway name, of course. So that is that one. Oh, of course, I left it over here, so I'm going to... Okay, usually I only have 2 projects, so I usually have to just grab this bag and then it's at my desk. But I have 3 projects going now because, well, I'll get to that in a sec. So, I actually did get some work on this done. Not very much, but more than the past few weeks, which really isn't saying much. And again, surprise, surprise, I'm in the middle of a room. Okay, so I got about a repeat done, or at least I finished off a repeat, which again isn't saying much, but this is the progress so far. Again, nothing much to report, so I'll just, show it to you guys. Since there's not really big amounts of distance done, it's really no big deal. You could probably skip ahead 2 minutes-ish as I ramble about it, and wouldn't miss anything. You just watch last week's bit. So that is, this is the Moonlight Sonata shawl. Again, that's really not the most stunning picture of it. It is being done in, let me grab the wrapper again. I should make it a note to intermittently, talk about these yarns. Once I start the project, never really do. So this is Alpaca with a Twist. I used to be good at that, but I'm not anymore. Alpaca with a Twist Fino, and it is a 70% baby alpaca, 30% silk blend, which is wonderful to knit with. It really is. So soft. But, what needles I'm using? I don't remember. I want to say 5, because my 6s are being used, were used in this project. So, yes, using 5s. What it is in metric, I don't know. Although I just had my gauge up. I probably should have told you, but I didn't. Yes. So, that is that. So the big project that I've been working on this week, at least since Tuesday. Today is Thursday. Well, at least when I'm recording, it's Thursday. It'll be Friday when you're watching it, or whenever you decide to watch it, if you watch it, which you wouldn't hear me talking if you didn't decide to watch it, so, yes. That's my philosophical, I guess you would call it. Yeah, I'm just going to stop talking. So, the project that I started on Tuesday, and that I've been working on, all gangbusters on, is a baby sweater. My French professor, Professor Tolliver, just announced, I shouldn't take that off, I'm still doing sleeves, just announced that she is having a baby. Well, I say just announced, but it took a while for Mom to, get the yarn sent to me. So, or in the immortal words of my classmate, who was absent for the time that she announced, we had come in the next class, and, before we, went into lesson, she had asked if there was any, questions or announcements or anything. So, this guy, blurts out, she's like, "Oh, Professor, I heard you got knocked up." Just we all crawl under the desk. But to her credit, she, did very tactfully. She's like, "Yes, I am pregnant." But some people just don't have discretion. So here's the sweater. She doesn't know the gender of the baby, so I had to go neutral. And she doesn't want to know because she doesn't want, after the baby shower, everything to be either pink or blue. So for a little variety, she decided, and I just realized that's a really big cuff. I should have probably decreased a tad bit more. Yeah, so I will ask you guys' opinion. I think that sleeve is too wide. I mean, I am doing the 1 year size, just for room to grow and such, but, I still think that, now I'm looking at it, because I just bound off for the sleeve in my geology class. So it looks a bit big. So leave a comment, tell me what you think. Will I take your advice? Probably not. I'll probably go my own way, but it would be nice to have somebody's input, because in my semi-sleep deprived state, I never really know. So I am working on the second sleeve, and then it should be done if I decide not to take this out. I am doing this in I Love This Yarn, again, but it's the sport weight. Like Mom always says, she does acrylic for babies because, first of all, it'd be too warm for wool. It'd be kind of itchy, and then there's the washing issue. So I'm, of course, using acrylic. And again, Hobby Lobby, in their very creative yarn names, is calling this red tweed. So they have Captain Obvious has, again, named it. But if I have enough, which I should, because this is the second skein, I am going to, which I should, you do some booties and a hat, and just however much time I have and yarn left over is what will happen. You probably will not see the finished product, just because I am planning to give it to her on Monday, which means I'm going to have to keep cruising on it, which I should get it done. I mean, unless, there's a nuclear bomb dropping on us, nothing should really get in the way. I've got a crazy weekend ahead, which I'll get to in a second. But other than that, it should get done. There was something else I was going to say. But, yes. So, my crazy weekend. I probably won't get much done next week, just because next week is promising to, make me go bald, to put it mildly. I've got a French oral exam, which is on Wednesday, which, I'm preparing for now. I'm studying for it. I'm writing the scripts and all that stuff. So I've got that on Wednesday. And Wednesday officially kicks off finals. Woo! Yeah. I have my French oral exam on Wednesday. And then the next day, on Thursday, before I record again, I will have taken my final geology exam, which isn't like a final, it's a final, it's not cumulative, thank goodness. And then after that, well, actually, I'll have my personality psych exam, which again isn't cumulative, thank goodness. And then right after that, I'll have my geology exam, and then I'll have a good 5 days where I won't have class, and I won't have anything to do except for study for my next exams, which come up again on, let me pull out my calendar, because the more I repeat this to myself, the more it makes sense, because I've got this warped sense of time right now. It feels like forever till the end of the semester, and yet everything's cramming on me now, Got like this oxymoronical view of time right now. And then a week after that, on Thursday again, I've got my French final, which is cumulative, which not looking forward to at all. And then after that, on Friday, I have my Human Development and Family Studies final, which isn't cumulative, which is really nice. But yeah, so things are going to start really piling up on me. But I've got that hurry up and wait kind of scenario going on, I have 3-4 days where I'm, stressed to the max, losing clumps of hair, and then I'll have another 3-4 days where I'm twiddling my thumbs. But yes, so that is that. What else is on my scribbles? Oh, a bit of a anecdote from Tuesday. I went to the university. Again, I've got hair going everywhere. The university had a town hall meeting where they talked about what they're doing to improve, mostly I'll say tech and Wi-Fi and stuff like that. It was a whole lot of technology based. I was trying to say technologically based, but that wouldn't have made sense and it wasn't coming out right. But excuse me. So they had this meeting where students came and they talked about what they're working on and what we as student body would like them to do. And so I sat there for an hour and 45 minutes, but they gave us pizza, which made it all better. And Hawaiian Punch. Hadn't had Hawaiian Punch in like forever, so I had Hawaiian Punch. But what was I saying? But at this town hall meeting, you know, I sat there for an hour and 45 minutes knitting away. Got a bunch done on my baby sweater. But what was I about to say? Oh yes, a guy was, you know, in my general proximity was, you know, we were just about to leave. He looks over at me. He's like, "Have I seen you before?" And I'm like, "I don't know, probably." You know, we probably had like a class together, because in the big lecture halls, I mean, you probably see half the student body and you won't even like really recognize them because there's just so many of you. And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, are you on any billboards?" I'm like, "Not to my knowledge." She's like, "What a random question." I mean, he'll go, "I've seen you before. Are you on any billboards?" I mean, you normally ask, like, especially in a college setting, it's like, do we have any classes together, or, you know, do you always do this time, or do you go this place? Not, are you on any billboards? The weirdest thing. I thought it was my sleep-deprived state. I'm just like, what? I mean, this is at like 8:45 at night, which is 15 minutes before I go to bed. So I wasn't firing on all cylinders. But yeah, weirdest thing. But I should probably get a pen so I can like start crossing off my scribbles. Yeah, it's on the back here. Okay. There's that. Yeah, I'm like reading my notes while I'm trying to talk about them, which isn't going well. But on Monday, Mom was talking about how she got a new magazine, I think Knitting Traditions, and she saw, you know, this really cute little, I think, baby dress, and how she was going to knit it up for all her grandkids and such. And the only thing I have to say to rebuttal that, well, actually I have two things to say. First of all, I have to get a boyfriend first, and I have to actually get married at that point, which means guys actually have to take an interest in me, which not happened yet. But assuming that I do get a boyfriend and get married, and have kids, mind you, there is that equation there too, you know. I could be sterile for all we know. Or he could be sterile for all we know, whoever he may be. But even if we do have grandkids, by the time that comes along, they are not going to need to buy like any store-bought clothes for the first like 3 years of their life. I mean, we're going to be drowning in knitted items from Mom, I swear. I mean, the little thingy from my pen just came off. I guess that's why I shouldn't be, you know, playing around while I'm talking. But yeah, just put the pen down. No one gets hurt. But with all the knitting she's going to be doing, both me and Catherine and all the other of our siblings are going to be drowning in knitted items. I mean, I'm surprised she hasn't started knitting for grandbabies now. I mean, goodness. But yes, that's the only thing I have to, you know, rebuttal that. I have to remember that at the end. And another note towards Mom, but I will give it a little prologue. That works. Prologue first. We at home, we have, well, a menagerie of animals. You know, as you saw in last podcast, we have a dog named Sedgwick. We have a cat named Dixie. We have Gilbert and Sullivan, the gerbils. Totally lost my train of thought there. I was trying to be like, yep, that's the word I'm looking for. Gerbils. And then we also have another cat, a tuxedo cat, named Chappie. Now, Chappie is the subject of my conversation towards my mom, and you guys too. This is a bit of like a public service announcement to Mom. Go check, make sure Chappie is still upstairs, because I think he's been hitchhiking. And I say that with all seriousness because, well, seriousness. I was walking back from French on Wednesday, and I knew we had a feral cat running around the campus. Because, I mean, having a campus as big as ours, I mean, I dare you to not. I mean, it'd be surprising if we didn't have a feral cat or two. I mean, really get serious. But, I'd seen it, slinking around, but I never really got a good look at it. I usually saw it, walking around, when I'm going to breakfast when it's kind of dark. I just see, shadows. And, I mean, so I finally got a good look into this cat. Really cute-looking cat. I mean, it may not be feral. It was pretty well-groomed, so I'm guessing it's just an outdoor cat. But a nice tuxedo cat is kind of lounging there. And the first thing I thought was, oh, look, it's Chappie! So, make sure he's still at home, and if not, I'll stick him on a plane and bring him back to you. Have the Wanderer return. But I wouldn't put it past him. I really wouldn't. I mean, he'd be the kind of cat that, he isn't an outdoor cat, but I could see him venturing out. But, yes. So, take a look for Chappie. He may be out there. Oh, that's not for the podcast, that's for Leah. My scribbles don't always get categorized, so I'm looking at it and I'm like, wait, I don't want to mention that on the podcast. I'm like, wait, nope, that's the idea of a movie I need to watch. And yes. So, another note I had to say, as I mentioned on a few podcasts ago, maybe 2 podcasts ago, I have said that usually when I am podcasting, there's a song that usually sticks out. I'm like, that's the song! That hasn't happened this week. But I have a good idea of what I may have it be, because it was a Tuesday. I have a very early class on Tuesday. It starts at 8:30, which means I'm out of my dorm by 5 after 8 at the latest. And I was tired. I mean, slightly more than normal on a Tuesday, or on any morning for that matter. A Diet Coke hadn't quite kicked in yet. And so I was just about to go to class. I mean, I had 5 minutes, and I learned that day, well, it really kicked in. Wait, I think I know what song. Better write that down. I don't know if it will be, so I won't mention it. But, it was one of those moments where, stars aligned, heavens opened up, and my Windows Media Player played the exact song that I needed to hear. And, I mean, I'm not a big, believer in fate, but sometimes, God smiles on us. Just you know what? I'll make one thing go your way right now, I won't be cruel, that kind of thing. And, right before I had to leave, guess what song comes on? The one song that, whatever is happening, makes you feel good. From way back, I want to say 97, and I think Catherine knows where I'm going with this, just with, saying it's 97. But, yes, it was 97. But, M'Bop comes on. And I have to say, it's a cute song, it really is. It was just that one song, and it came on, and I immediately felt so much better. It was just this is going to be a great day, I'm going to get so much done, it's just, everything's going to go my way. Oh, it was just it was just yeah, that. Totally made everything right. And it wasn't it was going to be a bad day. It just, solidified that it was going to be a good day. So, yes. So, if you're ever feeling down, if you ever need just a pick-me-up, M'Bop by Hanson. Every time. And if that doesn't work, give a little. Every time. But, yes. So, I learned the power of a good song. Yes, so that is all my scribbles. I've been making a mental note, which it hasn't been working because I haven't turned any thought to it. But as you saw last podcast and all my other podcasts, I have a terrible time with wrapping it up succinctly. I always end up like sitting here for like 5 minutes going, oh well, yeah, I covered that and I covered that. And so I am trying to figure out a way to wrap it up all nice and succinctly with a nice pretty little bow. But it still hasn't come yet. So the only thing I can hope for is that I can make it a bit shorter. Hopefully. Yeah, so I'm still working on it. It would be great if I had like that, like one quote, or like one like saying like my catchphrase, that I could just be like, and so, blah 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 blah, have a great week, see you later, bye, but divine inspiration hasn't struck yet. And I can't really use the divine inspiration from Tuesday. I can't be like, bop, and then like turn it off. I mean, I could, but it'd be so ambiguous, because I could meet and bop in so many different ways. As, Catherine would again know. But, you can use that word in like so many different ways. But I won't bore you with my, fansoning. But, a fan of Hanson is a fanson. And I totally fans it out sometimes. I'll be sitting there watching a video and I'm like, yeah. I turn into a little teeny bopper. Yeah. I may look nice and like mature, but then, when that like inspiration strikes, I'm like, yeah. It's like totally gone. The whole facade is gone. Like last night, I was watching episodes of like The Singing Bee and Don't Forget the Lyrics, and the Australian version of The Singing Bee plays a whole lot more uses a whole lot more songs than I know, and so so funny sitting there, I'd be like, oh, I know this song, and I'd be like, nope, that's the lyric, and I was like totally like flailing everywhere. It was a good thing my roommate was studying for Orgo in the library, because I would have really scared her if I hadn't already. Oh, and that reminds me, I know I touched on it briefly, but I just want to give you an apology for Roomie Dearest, because usually I record when she is in class, because she usually has finite at this time, or just letting out, but she ditched. Ooh, she's that girl, she ditched. But she's been ditching more often. But just because tomorrow she has an Orgo exam, which means she's been focusing on that. So needless to say, I haven't seen her for more than a half an hour this week. I am not kidding. Yeah, she has had no life this week. And I feel for her, but it's like one of those things where it's like, better you than me. Yeah. I would be a puddle of jelly by the second week at Orgo. I really would be. But, I think that is all the stuff I had to talk about. So that was my roommate Victoria, Vicky. But other than that, I think I should wrap it up. So here comes the 5 minutes where I try and figure out what I didn't talk about. Which I don't think there is any, and if there is, I shall scribble on a piece of paper, and then forget what the scribbles meant. Because I will write down something, and I'll look at it and be like, what did I mean by that? So, as of right now, or at least before dinner when I checked, we have one person in our grand knit-along, and she is my knit-along. It's Miss Deb. We haven't had any new members in our group, so I can't welcome anybody, except thank the other people that have stuck with us for the times they have. Join our knit-alongs. Catherine is doing a scarf. Mum is doing a shawl, or a little shawlette. And I am doing Finish Up Your Finishings, which I will probably be working on next week. That's probably all the, brain cells will have. Has probably all of the. This isn't going to come out right any way I say it. It's just like not making sense in my head. I know what I want to say, but it's not coming out. So, all of the. Sorry about that. That was, again, my camera telling me that it's time to wrap it up, which I was in my own, beat around the bush way. And so, I don't know where it ended. So, I will just say that I will probably be turning the sock under this week sometime. And if not, I will get it done before the end of the month. I promise you that. And so to Miss Deb, make sure you post the pictures of your final project so that you can get credit for it and you can get put into the drawing with, I don't know if we will have a drawing since we only have one person, but I don't know. I really don't know. I'll have to talk to my co-hosts about that. But thanks for joining Mind It Along. And if we do put you in the drawing, then I will get a pattern too. So thank you. And join Mind It Along. Yes. That's my shameless self-promotion for the week, just like last week. And so the last bit of this I have to say is, I always forget about iTunes. I mean, I know that we're on Blip because, well, I upload it every day. Well, yes, every day. I upload it every day, every week. And I know we're on the Three Sisters blog because, well, that's who we are. But we're also on iTunes, so check us out there. We're free. Yeah, we don't make any cash by doing this. Which, I don't know who would pay us to do this anyway. But, so give us a star rating. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Give us a comment. Say something, just if it's like, I hate your guts. You know, just to let you know that, just so that we know that you're actually watching us. So, yes, I shall wrap it up. So, have a great weekend. Have a great week. Mom will see you on Monday. Catherine, well, you will see Mom on Monday, and you'll see I thought I said that wrong, but I said it totally right. You will see Catherine on Wednesday, and before I get totally tongue-tied, bye.